Hello and welcome to our quick revision series. Today we are exploring the heartland of India, the Great Northern Plains. This vast flat expanse is not just India's breadbasket, it's also a fascinating geomorphological unit with a unique story of formation and distinct landforms. For the UPSC exam, understanding these features from Bhabar to Khadar is crucial for geography, agriculture, and even disaster management. In this session, we will break down how the plains were formed, their key divisions, and the landforms that define them, followed by a quick set of practice questions. So, how did this massive plain come into existence? It's actually a young landform in geological terms. Its origin is closely tied to the uplift of the Himalayas. When the Indian and Eurasian plains collided, they not only gave rise to the Himalayas but also created a deep, 4D basin along their southern edge. Over millions of years, the great Himalayan rivers, the Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra, carried huge quantities of silt and sediment known as alluvium and deposited them into this basin. This continuous process of aggradation or deposition eventually filled the depression and gave birth to the flat, fertile plains we see today. Now, let's look at the key geomorphological divisions moving north to south, starting from the foothills. First comes the Bhavar, a narrow belt about 8 to 16 kilometers wide, lying just south of the Shivaliks. As rivers descend from the mountains, their speed drops, forcing them to deposit heavy materials like pebbles and boulders. Because the region is highly porous, the streams often disappear underground, making it unsuitable for cultivation. Just south of the Bhabar, the streams that disappeared now re-emerge. This creates a second belt known as the Tarai. Because the water has no clear channel, this region is a swampy, marshy, and damp landscape. Historically, it was also known for its dense forest, high biodiversity, and mosquito-borne diseases. Today, however, much of the Terai has been reclaimed and converted into fertile agricultural land, especially for crops like sugarcane, rice, and wheat. This is the most important distinction. As we move further south into the main plain, the alluvium is divided into two types. First is Bangar, which is the older alluvium. It forms higher terraces that are located away from the river and are above the flood level. The soil is less fertile and often contains calcareous concretions known as kankar. In contrast, Khadar is the newer alluvium. It forms the active floodplain right next to the river. The soil is replenished by fresh silt deposits every year, making it the most fertile land in the plains. While these are the north-south divisions, the plains are also divided regionally from west to east. In the west lie the Punjab plains, formed by the Indus and its tributaries, famous for their dwarfs, fertile tracts between two rivers. The Ganga plain forms the vast central part and is the most extensive section. And in the far east lies the Brahmaputra plain, characterized by heavy rainfall, frequent floods, and large riverine islands like Majuli, one of the world's largest inhabited river islands. Now, let's check your understanding with some quick practice questions. So, that was a quick overview of the Great Northern Plains, their origin, divisions, and landforms that make them one of India's most productive and densely populated regions. Now tell us which topic would you like to revise next. Till then, keep learning with the UPSC Quick Revision series.